MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And what a beautiful Thursday morning. We're starting at 65 degrees early this morning.
It's nice out there right now, and it's sunshine, and it's a pretty day so far.
Very little chance of rain this afternoon. It's a smidgen, what we'll call 30%. It's not widespread. If you get a shower this afternoon, you know how they hit and miss like half a mile down the road? It's not even raining. So that's sort of what we got on schedule this afternoon, but nothing serious, sunshine for the most part. Weekend's even better.
Good.
So this is a lot of teary-eyed moms this morning as their kids head off to school. And were you one of those moms?
I didn't cry. I was excited for him. I think he's excited. He just was kind of slow to go in this morning, kind of like. But he has a friend of his from his ball team that's in his class, so that's
he's
a good
happy.
Thing. Yeah,
Now,
he was so excited to see him.
You do the thing that most moms, and you'll see this spread all over Facebook of the picture of going into school. They didn't do that when me and you were little.
I know, and I meant a while ago to get a picture of him in the classroom. I just wanted to get a little snap of him in the classroom, and I forgot. I was just trying to.
And there's y'all's
Get out the
picture
door.
from this morning.
Yeah, that's his little first grade.
Boy, you
picture.
got his hair all down to a T there. We
Yeah,
used
he's spiffy looking this morning.
after the ladies this morning.
He's got on some little cologne and everything. He had to be a big boy this morning.
Oh, I got you. Well, do that, and like we said, there's a lot of moms out there. There's a few dads that do that, but majorly it's mom who drops them off and bids them farewell.
Yes.
Almost reminds you of that song by Sorry Brown, The Walk. Been down this walk before. Great song.
Yeah, it is a good song. But this morning, I think they're half of the students, like A through K or something, come today, and then tomorrow the other half of the alphabet come. So it's not a full, everybody coming today. So that's a good thing, and it gives the teachers a chance, I think, to get to know the kids with not so many in the classroom at one time. So. It seems like it was a normal morning. I mean, it's nice to be able to walk them in because, we didn't get to do that last year.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Yeah.
But the question that comes up is, how long will this last?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just appreciating it while it is lasting.
Because
Who knows? I mean, we really don't.
I'm afraid that we're getting ready for a lot of changes that are going to come out of nowhere. I think there's a lot of people watching right now that don't realize just how bad this COVID thing has gotten in the last 2 weeks alone.
Yeah. I mean, it really has ramped up. I mean, yesterday I was watching a video of a lady speaking on behalf of, I guess, the hospitals and the different, I don't know if it was around, I don't know if it had something to do with CDC, but she said there was a little over 2,800 new cases yesterday in Mississippi, and that they were averaging 10 to 12 pediatric patients per day being admitted into the hospital over there, and that's been for several weeks now, 10 to 12 a day. So that's a lot, so that tells you right there that does affect the children. Now, I don't know how many of those children maybe had underlying health conditions or what with that, but it is affecting the children. So,
no matter how you slice this or how you want to dice it or politically try to put it, I think, and I see it on Facebook and on Twitter every night, Neshoba County, from the Neshoba County Fair, there are people getting sick from being up there.
Right, and we know that.
And I'm not running down the Neshoba County Fair or anybody that went. It's just, I think it's fact.
Well, I mean, when you're that in close proximity like that, you gotta know that it's gonna happen. A friend of mine said that everybody in their cabin has it, that was in their cabin. And we got like the rodeo coming up. I want to encourage people to at least wear a mask if you go to that. I know you don't like doing it, but that's another close proximity type event. And I mean, we're glad to be able to have the events, but take precaution, try to keep everybody safe.
As we look at what's going on in the community, and it's not official yet, but things lead to that. And let me pull this up my Facebook page right here. This is the sheriff of Hinds County, Mississippi. 19 weeks ago, I think it was, he was diagnosed with COVID. He passed away yesterday morning at his home. Ambulance was called at 11 o'clock, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, again, the autopsy or the
Right.
The official papers, I don't think, listed that, but everybody is speculating that it could lead to that.
Well, we do know that COVID can cause other health issues. You know,
Yeah.
it can damage your organs if it gets really, really bad. I mean, it can cause a lot of issues. So it might have, caused something to.
And I've also gotten word, and I won't, because I don't know them personally, I won't mention the lady's name, but I know that someone passed away in the Meridian area from
Yes.
this, and a loss for the community. So our hearts go out to her family. And
Yes.
I've even heard that maybe more members of her family are in the hospital. I'm not 100% on that, but we wish them a recovery.
Yes.
So take it serious. You're right as an American to choose how you handle this. I highly suggest washing your hands and that gook stuff you put on it.
Well, I had heard a little while ago too that somebody was talking about somebody they knew, the whole family had COVID, and that one of them was worse off than the rest of them, and they were the one that had been vaccinated, and they were worse off symptom wise than the rest of them. So everything is kind of contradictory to what we've heard.
Well, and
you don't know what to think or what to believe.
I'm also, and again, we probably need to get us a medical expert in here when we
Right.
want to talk to them. But, I've heard that if you've had COVID and then go get the shot after you've had COVID, that the side effects after you get the shot are pretty rough there for a day or so.
Yeah, because I know that at one time they were saying you need to wait 90 days after you've had COVID
To get the shot.
to ensure that, maybe it wouldn't make you as sick. I don't know. But now I don't think they're having you. I thought somebody told me the other day they don't want you to wait that long. They want you to go ahead and get it. So you don't know what to believe. I mean, the only thing I know to do, y'all, is just pray about it and do what you think is the best thing to do.
Yeah, and I did take the shot. Talk to your doctor. If you've got a underlying medical thing, talk to your doctor about it. But if you can't, I think you go back to the days when polio was killing so many people, and they come out with a vaccine.
Yeah.
Now, back then, you didn't have Facebook, you didn't have Twitter, and all these different things that are in your face that you could read about it. And I think most Americans during that time heard it was out, and they went and got the shot, and it did save lives. And I think this is...
Yeah, but I don't know if polio too had the many different variants. You know what I'm saying?
I
I
don't
don't know about that because I don't know.
But I think the vaccine has saved a bunch of lives.
Yeah.
Is there some cases to where things have gone wrong?
Right.
Probably. But the best thing is call your local physician, talk to him, say, can I take this? Find
Right.
out if it's good for you.
Yeah, I would take the advice of your physician for sure before you just run out and take it. If you have health issues, I mean, you might want to.
Yeah, I've never even played a doctor on TV, so I can't even act like I know what
He
I'm doing.
thinks he is a doctor sometimes.
I tried that when I was about 15, and it didn't work out well.
But we do. Our heart goes out to family members who or people with family members and the people who are sick, or if they've lost a loved one. I mean, prayers go out to you because I'm telling you, it's just a rough time right now that everybody's going through.
Somebody brought up that the Quitman School District is full days in Clark County. That's great news.
Yeah.
As
Yeah,
we
that
begin
is.
this.
I will say this too.
What you got?
Which was, I thought I was misreading something, but I wasn't because I double checked with the teacher this morning. When we got our little paperwork, when we went into the open house, it said that all breakfast and lunch will be free for all students this year. Now, this is at West Lauderdale. I would have assumed that maybe it was some other schools too. You might want to check though, but it'll be free for all students this year. So I don't know. And I asked her how, and I don't know if they got like, it had to do with COVID or maybe there was extra grant money. I don't know, but that's a wonderful thing. Because I mean,
Helps out a lot of folks during these times when they're not getting as many hours.
yes,
at
it
work.
does. It helps out a whole lot. So
I haven't really seen other than, I think it was Twitter or Google that cut back on their employees. But locally, I haven't heard anything of that nature of anybody's job being affected with it this second time.
Yeah.
But just respect this stuff.
right. And, I think what concerns me too, because I've heard of this, some places when we first had the first go round of the COVID, people were taking extra precautions, like at businesses, like if they had a whole lot of people with it at a business, they would kind of shut down for a little while. I know it's hard to do something like that. I mean, but if you got so many of your employees that have it, you at least need to shut down to sanitize or.
Prime example is Lulu's, that restaurant on the coast, which is Jimmy Buffett's sister's restaurant. She had to shut down for a week because she didn't have enough employees to work.
Right.
They're supposed to be opening back up this coming Monday.
So, I don't know. I just think it's good to be able to sanitize everything at least for a day or two.
News coming out, Mississippi State has new regulations this year. They're starting out the first of the year with wearing masks. That may be changed. It's not mandatory for the entire year, but they did announce yesterday that they are requiring students these first couple of days to wear masks. We'll watch that. Should that change at Mississippi State, or if we have that start somewhere else, we'll pass that along so you'll be up to date on that as well. Let's see here, and we brought up the sheriff. That's just sad there about the sheriff catching that. Awful. And then in other news across the state, I think a lot of people from the Meridian area knew this guy. Columbus, Mississippi, I think they have 2 or 3 locations. Gary's Gun and Pawn. Gary, the owner there, died yesterday afternoon in a plane crash with his 8-year-old grandson. Plane took off. Not sure what went wrong, but it went down, and both of them lost their lives. And he was a real Christian fella. I don't know if you ever met him. I met him once 20 years ago. But he done a lot for the community and was a real Christian fella, and lost his life. So condolences to their family members. And I would say his last name, but I can't.
Yeah.
It's has a Cajun last name. And I'm not real good at how to pronounce. How do you pronounce that? I'll let you see if you can do that.
I would say it's Dido.
Okay.
Or Dido, I think.
Okay. So, again, condolences to his family there, and his Luke Reed, who was his grandson, an 8th grader, lost his life in that crash. That's just horrible.
Yes, that is awful.
So, a few of the headlines that are happening locally this morning. So, keep those folks in their mind, and let's see here. What else? Somebody said that their cousin passed away from COVID. I see that there.
I think that was the lady that we were talking about.
Okay. Yeah, and condolences to your family. We do keep you in mind there. As we're watching, and let me pull this up. There's nothing bad of this yet, but I wanted to pull this up just so you'll know what's going on out there with the latest when it comes to hurricanes. National Hurricane Center. This one is the one we're going to watch here. This is just off the coast of Africa. A chance that this could turn into something after 5 days. This one, not so much. It's not out of the picture yet, but this orange one is the one we want to pay attention to and see what happens with that over the next 24 to 48 hours. It'll probably start to determine if something's going to be nasty out of that thing. We hope it goes away by all means, and don't come back and bother us anymore. Your forecast for the next few days, I thought I'd share that with you also. As we brought up today, it's nice this morning, but we will get to 89 before it's done. Kind of on that warm level there. 30% chance of rain today and tomorrow. And if you'll notice, Saturday and Sunday, not too bad. Just a teeny weeny bit. But it'll be Wednesday-ish that we'll start to see the rain come back once again.
So the evenings, the temperatures are not bad.
Right.
Lower 70s. So.
And I think it's Keith Freeman doing a rain dance every afternoon trying to make people's grass grow to sell lawnmowers. I really think that's what's up. So y'all blame him for all of this that's going on. Just a little thought there. Let's see here. When it comes to buying a home, if you're getting ready to sell one, see our friends at Snowden and Company Real Estate. They're located here in Meridian, a local gal. They've been in business for 3 years and have really accelerated. Got some great people that work for her. As I said, if you're buying or selling, talk to the professionals that do this every day. It's sort of like flying an airplane. You wouldn't know what to do. They do this every day, and they know the ins and out, what to look for to make it best for you and the best investment that you will do. When it's time to sell, talk to them. There's so much they can go through and help you decide. Great quality pictures that come out of this that make people want to come see your home.
Yeah.
If you got a shadow somewhere, people go, oh, that's ugly. Let them handle this. They'll coordinate everything for you, get you there to the closing table, and make sure all the I's and T's are dotted, and make sure that you know what you're getting into. Lauderdale, Kemper, Newton, Neshoba, Clark counties are some of the places that they specialize in to get these taken care of. See many different homes and styles to choose from. Visit their website at snowdenrealestate.com. Take a look at all the new homes they've got there. And this is Amanda. She was in with us a month or so ago and talked about it.
They have some really nice homes listed right now. I mean, I was looking the other day, and if you're looking for a specific school district, I know school's just now starting, but it's never too late to try to find your home that you want to be in forever. So
Poplar Springs Drive is where you'll find their office, or just give them a call, 453-3937. Let Amanda walk you through this and take the sting out of this and make it be smooth with her. She'll help you out.
I was leaving home with a car full of my friends when suddenly we were thrust off of the road. A direct hit from behind. We were involved in a car accident.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
I'm JC from Starkville, Mississippi, and it took one call, and that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz, and he got me $200,000.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And I guess we've got a special guest coming in tomorrow. And I called him our what did I call him? Crime analyst. That he's going to be our crime analyst for us tomorrow. There, as we welcome Chris Reed, the former police chief of Meridian. And without a doubt, I think most people can say that crime has been on the uptick. I want to say this week alone, I think it's this week, and I don't know which day it runs through, that Meridian has had more murders than Jackson, Mississippi. That's
it's like daily. Yesterday, I know of, I think it was it not 3 robberies?
I
3
believe so.
like armed robberies, maybe, of people, one, or a lady was getting out of her vehicle at her home.
Somebody tried to take her purse.
And they tried to get her purse.
She was kicked and hit a couple of times. I think they took her phone and she held on to her purse. Cops went after them. And then we had the College Park incident yesterday afternoon.
Right. And then the man was robbed also walking to work yesterday morning.
Yeah.
And
so,
what area?
that was that
was that the College Park area?
Yeah,
okay. Okay, that was the same one.
Yeah, it kind of all, and he ran toward Imperial Cleaners and either went inside or went behind the person did.
But there was also a woman robbed in a parking lot somewhere at a business because the girl I work with, her sister-in-law works there, and there was a lady robbed in a parking lot. So beware if you're going out shopping. Just be aware of your surroundings. If you have mace, make sure you have it in your hand when you walk out, or pepper spray or something. It's a good idea to go get some. I know that you could get it at like the Garrett's on 8th Street.
Yeah.
You could probably get it just about anywhere now. But just be aware of your surroundings because it's gotten
people
really
sneak
bad.
up on you.
Some people say crime's always been here in Meridian. It doesn't have to do with any specific person being, on a job. Well, you can say what you want to say, but every day lately, I mean, I've not heard as many murders,
This has a lot to do with whether people want to admit it or not, to do with gangs and initiation.
Yeah.
And, as I've talked to people that know what gangs do, the first time they'll just wound somebody, their second to get in would be killing somebody.
Yeah.
We had a 16-year-old that killed a vet. For what reason?
Well, do you remember years ago when the elderly man, I had heard at that time it was like a gang initiation. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I mean,
North Hill Street.
The man at the grocery store, the elderly man that had gone to get his wife flowers, come out of the grocery store and they killed him. Yeah. Just senseless,
But we have, without a doubt, however you want to say it, what you want to say, there is a huge uptick in crime.
Yeah.
And we'll have Chris here to talk about this. What can be done? Where is it headed? What's going to happen? We'll ask a bunch of questions of him tomorrow, what he can answer and tell us what he's seen over the last couple of weeks. And who's going to be in charge? I don't even think there's been a police chief appointed. I think there's an acting one, and I think Dubose is standing by as a consultant, if I'm not mistaken. We'll find all that out and talk to him, his opinions of what's happening to our city.
Right.
Lord, I do hope it's not too late. That's the thing we all do. And Meridian now, let's get this straight. I don't want anybody to say that I'm just singling out Meridian. It's all across the South.
It is.
It's up north. It's out west. Let me show you a picture here from the San Francisco Police Department. Look at this. This is the streets of San Francisco yesterday. They have arrested this woman, but she hung out the window with an AK-47. San Francisco.
It's crazy.
New York, I wouldn't even want to pass through right now, not in the downtown area of subways in that area. Is constantly someone getting mugged or hurt really bad on those subways in there.
Yeah.
And does it have to do with a lot of this of defunding the police? I absolutely believe so.
And I know it does happen. It's happening everywhere, like Scotty Ray said. But us focusing mainly on our town, it's because this is where we live.
Yeah, can't help it.
I mean, this is where we raise our children. This is where our children get old enough to go out on their own, and you worry about them. And I mean, I hope something does change. I hope that we can get a handle on this. And, I think that at some point somebody's going to mess with the wrong person and it's going to be bad news.
Yeah.
So
let's say some good mornings to some folks that are watching. And we invite you, if you're at home watching on television, to join us on Facebook or on YouTube. Just look up Scotty Ray's Weather and you'll find us there live. And you can communicate with us even on Twitch as well.
That's right.
Let's see. Good morning to Brian Troy. Good morning. Good morning. Terry Carter also joins us.
Angela Dunnigan says, good morning from Carmichael, and she hopes everybody has a blessed day. Miss Joyce Godwin, good morning, and Claudine Baskin, good morning.
Along with Steve McKinnon, Kim Vulcan, watched from the big city of Quitman. Even Sandy White made it out of bed today.
Steve and Wanda McKinnon says, how does someone be a guest on your show?
Inboxes. We'll talk to you there.
Right. Kathy Woodall, good morning. And Terry Shelton, good morning to you. Also,
Bill Reinhardt is up representing the big city of DeKalb this morning. Tammy Fleming is up. She hopes everybody has a blessed day there.
And we hope you get good results about your MRI. She says she's having. Karen Palmer, good morning. And Gail Gafford, she's watching this morning. Good morning, Miss Gail.
Also, Milton Savell joins us along with Cindy Skipper and Daphne Childs joining us from the big city of Hickory.
Let's see, Bailey Grace, that's my aunt. Good morning to you. And Karen Palmer, she said that we need Chris back. I think a lot of people would agree with you, but and let's see, Jerry Stokes, good morning. And he said that Jerry Stokes, did I say Gary or did I say Jerry? I'm sorry. Jerry Stokes, good morning to you. And he knows Gary, I think the man that
from Columbus.
Shop. Yeah,
good guy.
So.
And Miss Gail, who's bringing out her Cajun, and says you pronounce Gary's last name Dito.
Okay.
And I would not know that.
Okay.
So thank you for passing that along. I've always struggled when it come to pronunciations of Louisiana.
Yeah, it is kind of tricky sometimes. They, pronounce things different. But, we want to say good morning to Miss Ann McKee and Teresa Short and also Miss Linda Jane Lunsford.
Linda Jane up and at 'em there, along with John Taubert. Also, Diane Miles joins us, along with Ray Strebeck from Hickory.
Chet Parker, good morning to you. And I'm sure y'all are pretty busy this morning. And Miss Kathy Thomas, good morning. And let's see, Lois Garrett, good morning. I want to try to pronounce that right. I had to go slow.
Sometimes I mess those up. Another big story that is shaping America this morning as you wake up. And when does it, because this man is not back, and we brought it up yesterday morning, Cuomo, or how do you say it?
Cuomo.
Boy, I hit all around it. Sometimes I'll never make it on CNN. They're not going to call me. But how many senators are they up to that say they're going to vote him out?
I thought this
impeach?
morning they said 86 people were voting against him, and they only needed a 3/4 majority to vote him out. I think that's what it was. So I think they've already reached it.
Now, as you dig deeper into this, I don't see how he did you see the pictures that he released of the Clintons and other people that were hugging people, and he tried to say, well, they do it, so why am I?
You gonna use Bill Clinton as an example?
He even used Joe, who hugs and sniffs everybody. I don't understand
Joe
the man's...
talks about somebody rubbing his leg hairs. I don't think you need to use him as an example, and I don't think Bill Clinton would be a good example to use. That's just my
your
opinion.
Heroes are not actually heroes,
right?
Here.
But yeah, he's in hot water for sure. I think this one's going to take him on out, of office. And also his brother, I think they've got some stuff to say about him, because I think he had hearsay is that he was giving him pointers as to how to get out of the charges that he was, accusations or whatever.
This the more you dig into it, the worse it gets with this guy. And just a few months ago, they wanted to run him for president. I guess it's been a year now. But they were looking at him as the leader of the Democrat Party because he handled his COVID meetings so well.
Well, the way that the things have been going, I mean, I wouldn't have doubted they would have stuck him on, up there if
regardless of what he done.
Because I mean, look at the other backgrounds of some of the people
and what we're referring
that they're just kind of
to
overlooking, like Hunter Biden. I mean, really?
The morals of America have sunk to a new low. There's no other way we can word this. And how does that change? And I think that has to start with the family. You got to have some family upbringing to get some standards back in America. Will that happen? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm fighting a gnat flying around.
It likes you.
I think it just like landed on my face.
So if you want me to just go over and say,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
do a scene from, what was that, Fletch Lives?
Yeah. Look, we always have something on live TV has to happen. So, you know,
It
we have a
happens.
gnat now. And
Just wait till you fall over backwards out of a chair, because I've seen that happen in radio, to where a chair would break and somebody hit
oh,
the
yeah,
floor
that would be me probably. That'd be my luck. Yeah.
up in the air.
Yeah. Before we go, move on to something else, though. Miss Terry Lynn, good morning to you. And Ginger Richardson, good morning. Also, along with a new watcher this morning, Miss Alice Cunningham. We're glad to have you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. The first time joining us there. And if you're watching from home, thank y'all for letting us come up in the house with you there. And if you got biscuits,
Yes.
please share.
Yes,
because
we'd love 'em.
I hadn't had anything. My wife will not cook breakfast for me.
Scotty Ray cooks breakfast like after he gets off the show. He's
Yeah,
pretty
I have to have my my deer sausage every day. It's like I'm an addict to it.
It's good though. Deer sausage is good.
I'm telling you, I
like it.
drug over. I had some deer stuff down in the freezer that I had not had processed, and I went over to Myers Processing in Newton and had it done in the brown sugar pineapple.
Oh, yeah.
Woo, doggy!
I bet that is good.
It
I
is.
have had pineapple sausage before. It's good.
But that old brown sugar adds a little bit to it, and I have learned this. And I'm not a cook. It's the only thing that I know how to put in there. But if you do this brown sugar thing, you better not put it directly in the skillet, because you can't get it out.
I wondered what you were putting tinfoil in that for.
I learned after 45 minutes of trying to scrub a pan that I cooked
Yeah.
in to put tinfoil in it, and
That's
then I
smart.
chunked that in the garbage can.
That's very smart. Smart
See?
move, Scotty Ray.
And for somebody that can't cook, that's a smooth move there.
Yes.
Let's go over a few things that happened on this day. It's always good to know what goes on in and around the world and what went on today. Let's see here. Back in, what year was it? Oh, 1884, they took out this piece of brick and they put it in the ground. And it was the cornerstone of the Statue of Liberty being laid. And that was kind of, they put it together and then disassembled it and shipped it to America. And that's what it looked like there.
Goodness.
So if you're a big Statue of Liberty fan,
They shipped that big thing to America.
Yeah.
Like in one big.
well, it was in pieces. And then, you know, when they unloaded it,
I
there's
was
the
fixing
head
to
sitting on
say,
the ground.
in one big piece. How in the world did they do that? I know that's a blind thing, probably. Y'all probably thinking, I'm not a natural one.
I've never had a chance to go visit it.
Joking.
But, you know, there's a lot of controversy with it, that people say that the Statue of Liberty has hidden things that are not good. And from what I read into it, it's just misinterpreted.
I would love to go see it one day in person, be able to go up in there.
No, I ain't going up in it.
See, I would love to go up in there.
Can you imagine?
I don't
how high-
like heights, but I would like to go up in there.
up to that, you know, even up to here, that's a long, where the crown is.
Can you go up to
You
the
used
torch?
to could. I don't know if you can anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go way up there, but I would like to go up in there. I just think it's neat.
No,
Be able
not.
to see it in person, though, from a distance.
You just
would
send
be
me a
nice.
letter and let me know how it was.
Okay. Take you a picture.
I'm not, the older I get, the less adventurous I am.
I don't like heights either, but I would just bite the bullet. And
It's a piece of Americana. I mean, without a doubt there. So anyway, it was also 1932, this guy was a bad guy before he met his girlfriend. And then once him and his girlfriend got together, they become really, really bad. But it started out this day back in 1932. Clyde Burrough killed his first police officer. And of course, it went from there and became Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
And had a very bad ending for him in the end. And, you know, it turned out it was a friend of his who turned him in.
Really?
And they waited, and he come down the road, and they took him out.
What happened to Bonnie? Did she?
She was in the car with-
She got killed too.
Yeah, you've never seen all those pictures?
I mean, no, I have not.
Well, I'm telling you, they stopped the car and just riddled it.
Oh,
It was
really?
not get out of the car. It was, they started shooting, and I forget how many times they were shot, but it was all on a dirt road, one way in, one way out, and they waited on them, and the FBI took them out.
Oh goodness.
And then the car is on display if you want to go to the Bonnie and Clyde Museum. That's got all the bullet holes as it happened that day.
Goodness.
And so,
Where is that at? Bonnie and Clyde Museum.
you know, I want to say Arkansas, but I'm not 100%. Maybe somebody knows where that is, of where Bonnie and Clyde is. But it is something to see, and you can look it up on the internet if you can't travel to it. But interesting piece of money will make you turn on people. Bad guys always do that, and that's what happened. So if you happen to know that, let me know where it is. A birthday. One of my favorite singers of all times had a birthday today. He's passed away now, but the voice. Do you know? You ever heard of him referred? Yeah. All right. 1934 was when he was born. Do you believe me now? I can tell by the way you dance, you're going to love me tonight. What a catchy little song. That was one of his number ones. And, you know, he had a lot of songs about divorce and hurt that really touched home today. George Strait's re-recorded a lot of his stuff. You Don't Know Lonely.
Right.
Woo!
Yes.
Louisiana is where the Bonnie and Clyde Museum is.
Okay.
That was one state off there. Yes. So my apologies on that.
Mr. Roy Ellis, Roy T., he wants to wish his granddaughter, I don't know if is it Maylee? I think Maylee Faith Ellis. Happy 14th birthday today.
Yeah, I hope it's a good one there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it raining at your house, Bill? Yeah, that was a great one of Vern Gosdin. If you've never listened, and I remember the first time I heard Vern Gosdin, it was way down deep inside my soul. Y'all remember that song? Ken Randy played it.
Karen Palmer said 167 bullets hit the car with Bonnie and Clyde in it. That's a lot. Goodness.
Gibsonland, Louisiana, John Talbert says is where the museum is. And there's the address if you're wanting to go to it.
Okay.
As we go further back into other things, Sammy Smith, who remembers that?
I don't.
She was a lady, and I'll show you her picture. Help Me Make It Through the Night was her big breakthrough song. And with that picture, I don't know how she ever made it through the night because I don't think she got any takers. I'm just saying.
She's pretty. What are you talking about? Some of the people that Scotty Ray
I'm looking there. I don't know if I'm,
I thought she was pretty. But I've never heard of her name, but I do know. I've heard of the song.
Help Me Make It Through the Night.
Yeah. That's crazy, isn't it? How you recognize a song, but you have no idea who sung it.
Am I right? Chris Christopherson wrote that. Take the ribbon from my hair. Yeah, I think Chris Christopherson wrote that. And then when you listen to the song and then you think, a dude wrote that, Chris Christopherson, you go, what was he thinking that night? But Chris Christopherson, man, you want to talk about somebody that can write a song.
I always thought he was a handsome guy. Like
he
when I
was
growing up. I always thought he was good looking. Yeah.
You know, back when he was in the Convoy movies and other things, A Star Is Born, he was really it on a stick. He was, ladies found him.
He had pretty eyes.
I wouldn't know about all that now. So do you take Robert Redford over Chris Christopherson?
No, I think, now, who is it?
Sean Connery?
No. Paul Newman. He was a handsome guy.
Really?
Yes, when he was young. Yes, he was very handsome. In his younger days. And even as an older man, he was handsome. So,
well, there you go. Words of wisdom from Candace there.
Yes.
Just making sure. Anybody else?
Was it Miss Linda Jane? It's on up, I think, on the comments. She said that we need to have a segment, I think, hints from Scotty Ray.
You need to add to your show.
Yeah.
Give me an example of what you want, and I'll do that. But
I think she's talking about your tinfoil in the pan.
Oh,
Helpful
okay.
Hints by Scotty Ray.
Yeah.
We need to do that.
I'll work on that. I can see whose car I worked on. Oh, I worked on Barry Brand's truck a few weeks ago, and I can tell you all about how to put in a front axle if you want to, the do's and don'ts of what you need to do to make it quicker.
Somebody might need your help out on the highway out here, because when I was coming in the door this morning, I heard somebody have a blowout.
Ooh.
Seriously, it had to be a blowout. It was a big loud boom, and then all of a sudden the sound of the vehicle kept getting slower and slower until it was stopped. So I think somebody's probably on the side of the highway. They might need your help.
Yeah, and always lend a hand if you can, because it could be you on the side of the road that is broke down.
And we just hope that, like, people, I mean, I've never had a blowout. I'm going to knock on this wood right here because, I don't want one, but that's scary. I mean, when you're traveling at a high rate of speed,
I had a brand new set of tires on my mama's Lincoln and had a blowout on it a month or so ago. And so instead of using that little teeny weeny jack, I just called home and made Madison go to my shop and get my jacks and all my stuff that made it easier to do. Them little bitty things, and if you're off on the side of the road, y'all know that they'll fall off.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, make things easier. Okay, let's see what else happened on this day. Oh, this was a heartthrob to a lot of people. And I used her young picture for that reason only. 1956, she was born. Marsha Brady.
I watched the show when I was coming up, I will say.
And, she's not a bad-looking woman now.
No, but Ben Stiller, the actor, he's married to a girl who I think played in the remake of the movie. She played her, and she looks so much like her. I mean, she looks like it could be her daughter or something. I mean, seriously.
That remake, the scene that was the funniest. Did you watch it?
Are you
The Brady Bunch, the Brady Bunch sequel when it comes in the
No,
early
I didn't
90s.
watch the whole thing. I just watched the full things of it. But which one was it?
I don't know if it was because they made a couple of them there, the remakes, but it was the scene to where Marcia and what's the oldest boy, Greg, is that his name?
Yeah.
They had to share a room and they had the sheet separating the room and then they start having feelings for each other.
Oh, well,
it was funny.
I just remember the episode where she gets hit in the nose with a ball or something, hits her in the nose and her nose swells up really big.
Yeah.
On the old show. I don't know about the new one, but
So
anyway.
why didn't Sam ever date Alice? Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of like the Miss Kitty and what's his name? But anyway, so did you like Marsha? What was the other little girl's name? There was Marsha that was everything, and then the other little girl that wanted to be Marsha.
I don't know, but she'd go, Marsha.
Yeah,
What's her name?
It's for the life of me, I can't.
I'll think of it in a minute. I can never think of stuff like on.
It was
right on
it was like 10 of them kids.
Yeah, a bunch of them.
Yeah, all right. Let's see. 1957. A lot of I was not around anywhere near this. It would be years before I was even thought of. But Dick Clark made his debut in 1957. He caught on that kids like this new music, and they went live with it nationwide. And it is what it is today because of American Bandstand.
Did they still have American Bandstand?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I think they do.
Jan is our name. Look at here.
Jan.
And Cindy.
Yeah, Cindy was the little one with the
With the little-
pigtails.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess we all just think about Florence and Greg.
Uh-huh.
After all that
Oh,
news
yeah.
broke.
Yeah, that blew my mind that
Might have.
the mom and the older kid, like in real life, had a little, right?
Yeah, a little something or another
Yeah.
from what I remember being told. It a little different there.
Yeah.
But
Kind of ruins your whole idea of the show.
and then Dad wasn't what we thought Dad was after you go back and you look at all this and then
Yeah.
you get into the Waltons and read in on some of that. You go,
Really?
you make a face and you go, I did not know that. Tim Wilson, anybody remember him? He was a comedian, big time back in the early 90s. He was pretty big. Had a song called Ricky, somebody's mama's going to play football. Ricky Tidwell, something like that. Anyway, he passed away not long ago, but Tim Wilson was born on this date also.
Okay.
He was funny. You need to hear the song.
I need to pull him up. Let's do.
Yeah, he had a bunch of them there. Let's see here. This was a day that went down in history. And do I think most Americans feel like there's more to this that we will never know? Do I think she died by accident? I think she had some help.
Yeah, if you've never really watched one of these stories about that tells in-depth information about what they think happened when she died, it would blow your mind.
I think this dies or really blends in with JFK a lot. Why would somebody want to get rid of her? Well, JFK probably told her a thing or two that they didn't want told. And she was an easy target. It would be an easy setup because she had issues of drug overdoses from the doctor.
Right.
And she was taken out. And of course, Bobby even had a thing with her, as we find out later, too.
Yeah.
So a piece of history, but she was found on this date, 1962 there. And what a beauty she was. I've had dinner with this girl once or twice before, years ago, and she's tall. There's no other way to word this. Terry Clark celebrates a birthday. She was born in 1968. Poor, pitiful me.
Yeah, I used to listen to her back in the day.
What was that song? I Just Want to Be Mad for a While. And I think that fits a lot of ladies there.
Yeah.
They just want to strut their stuff and show that they can be mad. You ever do that?
Yeah, I'm kind of mad every now and then.
I remember I was only 7 years old when this came about, but I can remember the first time I heard it. It was so different than anything else on the radio. Kenny Rogers finally leaves the first edition, and y'all remember the song "Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town." I hear this slamming of the slim, and he breaks off and he goes on his own. And this is the song that is released, and it goes to number one, crazy number one. And it was such a traditional song. You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. Four hungry children and a crop in the field. Who would have thought that would have been a hit? But it clicked with Americans, and it began the career of somebody that would be huge.
Yes, I loved listening to Kenny Rogers. And I just liked when he and Dolly did the little duet.
Islands in the Stream.
Yeah. I mean, the song, I liked it back then. I mean, it's just kind of a long song, though, it's just kind of repetitive, but it's still
Kenny
good.
had a lot of duets you dig in it. Dottie West, I Feel Sorry for Anybody Who Isn't Me Tonight. Whoa. Talk about getting edgy there. And then also Let's Go Out in a Blaze of Glory that he done with her. Great song. Then Kim Carnes. And I want to say there were some other women along the way that he had just monster crossover hits. Lady.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
It's
and then
just
Lionel Richie also sang that song.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they were, sure did. I don't remember which song, but they did
Lady.
Lady? Oh, they went back and remade it years later?
Yeah. I think Lionel Richie did that song also, yeah.
Learn that. But Lionel Richie, of course, Mr. Love song himself. Reuben James, Milton. That was a good song, and I liked it. And let's see here, some other things. It was 1983 on this date, and I remember the first time, because it was different sound for Alabama. And this went #1 on this date. It actually was released, Lady Down on Love. Y'all remember that song?
I do.
Now she's a lady. What's a shame I can't sing. That same year, and to today, this scene is still used from that movie of sliding across a floor in socks.
Yeah, and you're...
Yeah, I think you
dress
got it
shirt
saved as a screensaver on your phone, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Risky Business was released with Tom Cruise, which really set the pace for Tom Cruise to be the superstar that he is today.
Yeah.
I don't know how old he was back then, but he made an impact.
He was pretty young, but yeah, I watched that movie, and I miss all those old movies like 16 Candles, and
I didn't like
did y'all
that
ever?
one.
You didn't like that?
It was. I'm gonna say it was a chick flick.
It was, but I mean, it was cute, like that, and like Weird Science. I had that on the VHS tape, and we would watch that constantly because it was just so funny.
But
the two boys that made the girl,
and she was pretty now.
Yeah,
but
yeah, those movies I miss, like The Breakfast Club,
see,
St. Elmo's Fire. Did you ever watch any of those? Did y'all ever watch any of those?
I watched
Those are the
about it,
best.
but I was more into Patrick Swayze, Red Dawn.
Oh, well, yeah.
Invasion USA. I mean, come on, Chuck Norris.
Roadhouse.
That was good
a
too.
good one.
Here, let me put my
Dirty
hair in.
Dancing. That was a good one.
Chick flick, but yeah, it was.
It was good.
It was a good, and then it was later on that Ghost would come from that.
Yeah.
But during the '80s, I'm serious. I was more into your Chuck Norris and Delta Force and movies like that than the 16 Candles.
Action-packed movies.
Yeah, they were good. I mean, when he's in line at that restaurant and the guy won't move and he takes his truck, pushes him out of the way, you go, yeah, yeah.
Kind of like Medea.
Yeah. Take that Cadillac anywhere. This was, we were kids, but in his time, this guy was a big star. And he passed away on this date back in 1984. Richard Burton died. And again, Cleopatra and a few other big movies there that a lot of folks will know more about him than I do. Just wasn't around. Yeah. This was funny. I don't care who you were. If you watched it, it was Whose Line Is It Anyway? Premiered on this day. And Wayne Brady, I think, is the guy that really made that show.
Yeah, he is funny.
I don't know his name, but he was funny too.
Yeah, all of them were pretty funny, but now I could only take so much of it. And then I was like, okay.
Drew Carey, I didn't care for. The guy that told them what to do. When they done their parts, it was good. And I remember a lady being added to the show at some point.
I can't remember who she was, but yeah, I watched it, but you know, it wasn't one of my favorite shows. But
and I get that.
funny. Yeah.
But
I mean, I could just, it's like, it was just, I don't know, one or two funny things on it, and then everything kind of seemed the same to me.
Yeah.
You know, anyway.
And you're right. Bob Seger did sing the song to Risky Business, Take Those Old Records Off the Shelf. Some old time rock and roll.
Yeah.
And that song, oh my God, I don't care who you are, you know that.
Yeah.
Not quite as big as Sweet Home Alabama, but most people know that. And I'd go, probably of any song in the world that most people would know, am I wrong, y'all, saying that Sweet Home Alabama would probably be the song that is probably more recognized than any other song in the world?
Probably so. And I always loved that song. I mean, that was always fun. Like if you were out or something and that come on, and everybody get out and dance to it.
Did they ever make that the official song of Alabama?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know.
I know there were several attempts in Mississippi to change our state song to Charlie Pride's Roll On Mississippi, and I don't think that ever happened. I think there was a push and that didn't happen some years ago. But that's a little bit of what went on down the road today. Let's take a minute and talk about, I wanted to talk about our friends at Maples Gas, one of our folks that have joined us there. And if you need gas or anything this morning, this is the place to drop by. They're clean, they're locally owned, and they want to be there for you. Plenty of locations around town to help you out there. And one of the neat things we've brought up this week is if you buy gas from them, go in on your receipt when it prints out, write your name and telephone number on the back and drop it in. They're going to be giving away a $50 fuel card each week.
That is great.
A little help from you. A thank you for doing business with them.
Yes.
Now, we'll go over all the locations here in just a moment, but if you're on the North Hill Street, you'll recognize that one right across from Mr. Discount Drugs there on the corner. Drop in and visit with them. Always clean. Look at here. If you're looking for coffee, if you need a fountain drink, they've got all of that. If you're in a hurry, it's quick in, out, get what you want. Even when it comes to cold drinks, maybe you need a Snickers bar. They got that also.
That's right.
Sometimes you can't stay
Got
on
that
your
little
diet.
crave. You need a snack.
Yeah.
Take a break from work.
And if you're looking for lunch also.
Right. These Hunt Brothers pizzas. These are like a little personal pan pizza. Mm-hmm. And my son loved these. I mean, he could eat his weight in them probably, but they're really good. Just stop by and see them, and you can get a slice of pizza, a bag of Frito-Lay chips, and a 20-ounce fountain drink, all for $4.99, and you cannot beat that for lunch.
You can't.
Because, I mean, we said yesterday we average paying like $10 to $11, $12 for lunch every day.
Yeah. So get a bargain there.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if you're going to be out in the Pine Springs area, drop into the country store. And if you need some bait going out to the reservoir, they've got all this crickets and minnows and all that at the bait shop inside the store. See that. Of course, if you're looking for ice cream, maybe you want some lottery tickets. Maybe today is your day that you're going to win. Mm-hmm. See them there. You can pick yourself up a lottery ticket. They've got a lot to choose from there. Anything that you may be looking for, the locations they've got. Mm-hmm. Bonita Chevron, you'll find that right down next to Bonita there, right next to Crossroads. Also, Pine Springs, the country store. You've seen that store before. You've passed by. Very clean, nice. And Last Chance Tobacco on Highway 493 or the Broadmoor Chevron.
How convenient is that? I mean, there's locations on every point of the county.
It is.
So really, there's no reason why you shouldn't stop by and save money.
Remember, one call, that's all. I'm Richard Schwartz, and I'm here to help you.
Hurricane season is here, and like most Mississippians, you know the drill. Organize a severe weather safety kit, know how to safely use a generator, and have a plan of action to keep your family safe if a hurricane threatens. And when outages do occur, you can now report and view current outages through our free smartphone app or website at emepa.com. Remember, when storms come in, be ready if the power goes out. East Mississippi Electric Power Association is your local Touchstone Energy cooperative.
As we turn to some more headlines that are across America, this one grabbed my attention from Pennsylvania. There's a lot of talk when you see, and if you don't pay attention to the news, when you see the headline CRT, I don't even know what that means. And that is critical race theory is what this is.
Right.
And they're trying to teach this in schools. What is interesting about the next headline that I ran across is it's an immigrant that moved to America. She's Iranian. And she addressed the school board in Pennsylvania. It was either last night or 2 nights ago that she went there. And she addresses them and says, look, I brought my child to this school to learn.
Right.
All history, all colors. And she goes, y'all are trying to change the way America is. And she keeps talking and she's pointing out the guy that's the head of the school board. And he gets up and goes and unplugs her microphone where she can't keep talking and calls the police on her, all for speaking her mind. And she had that right because I think you have to sign up before on any board to be able to speak at one. They are now calling for the president of the board, of the school board, to be thrown off now for what he'd done to her for not. And I think that should be also.
Right. Because, I mean, as citizens, you pay a certain amount of your taxes, go to schools. You should be able to voice your opinion if your child is going there, as long as you're being reasonable and, you're not being disrespectful
And she wasn't.
or unruly or whatever. I think you should be able to voice your opinion. And this critical race theory, a lot of parents are standing up against it because they don't like that being taught to their children. Now, I mean, it's not to say that they don't go into, history is still going to be taught. The history of our country is still going to be taught, or they want it taught.
Not if the left changes history.
Well, I know if they keep changing things. But I mean, I don't agree with the critical race theory stuff. I don't agree with it because, the way I understand it, it's saying that certain races are privileged and, other races are maybe, not as privileged or didn't have, as much of a chance to doing what they want to. I don't understand everything in it. I just don't agree with it, though. I don't agree.
This mom went on to say that my kids have friends of every race.
Right.
And she goes, they come by my house, and she goes, we should not be teaching this. We're all Americans. Okay. And, she's just here from another country.
This is just the way I feel about it. I feel like if, children should be taught to, love each other. They should be taught to get along, and you should do anything that you can to encourage them to get along. Not try to divide them, not try to have them have hard feelings against one or the other because of any kind of color of their skin. I just believe that, there's enough of craziness going on in America right now, a lot of division going on in America, and it doesn't need to be in our schools. No. These children need a chance to develop those relationships with each other, and get along good and be able to learn in school and not have to worry about, this one don't like me or that one don't like me or I don't like them. All of that it's just.
But a school board
should not. It's breeding
hate.
It's breeding division.
School board should not shut a parent down.
No, they should not.
That's happening in Pennsylvania.
All parents should be able to voice their opinion, as long as they're being reasonable.
As we go to the next story here, this is a lady that defended the United States against, how do they word it? That she was a tech CEO. She defended the government against hackers. And let me show you her picture here. This is her. She was killed by this man, who is her son, and her body found in the trunk of her car. Her son killed her. This is one of those things of, y'all know where I'm going. We see this a lot in America, where kids, it's just a bad situation.
Yeah, it is.
So our thoughts and prayers go out to her family. There is, what do you do after something like this happens? That's just bad news. Let's see here. Me and you talked about, me and you looked at this yesterday. Let's say you go on a family outing. Mm-hmm. This was in China, and this is on Twitter and several other places. But a family pull up to like a roadside park.
Right.
They start getting out to go have a sandwich. And let me pull this up. This was put originally on Daily Mail, and this come from Twitter's where this come from. But look at this. This is, let me back this up so you can see what happened here. This family pull over, and they're getting ready to picnic. You see this cliff here? Everybody gets out of the car except the lady in front. Now, as you keep going, she was hurt, but she was not killed, which is a miracle. Well, that was a huge drop off.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't just like a boom like this, but it was like a straight kind of hill that went down on the other side. So the car went down the hill, but.
Always make sure your stuff is in park before you get out, emergency brake, that kind of thing. I've had some close calls in my shop of things that I didn't do that I should have paid closer attention to. But a rough moment for them. They did survive, though. That's the good news of this. I did not realize this. You remember the Marlboro Man that used to be in all the commercials? Did you realize that they had a ranch that, like if you'd save several packs of smokes or whatever and turn them in, they gave away trips.
Really?
Marlboro did. It was an 18,000 acre ranch that you could win to, and Marlboro sells it last week. The people that own Yellowstone Club have bought the 18,000 acres. Had a full ghost town and set up.
It says Disneyland for smokers.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Like a Disneyland.
So it's going to be all expense now for the rich and famous, to where you can buy vacations to go to this place. But from what I understand, big time.
Goodness.
But it was, the old cowboy that would have the red shirt on the horse. That's what was there.
Yeah.
I had no idea that they even had that.
I didn't either.
So that's a news headline this morning of what went on there. Did you see that the breaking news, was it a day ago?
I was wondering, I did not get to look up and to read into it to see what it was. All I saw was the headline.
About the Pentagon. Somebody attacked the Pentagon, a shooter. This is the gentleman that lost his life at the Pentagon earlier this week. He was stabbed to death. It was a shooting, a lockdown went down, and the guy, I guess, ran out of bullets or whatever. But this gentleman lost his life at the Pentagon earlier this week. And that's just office there. George
Did they say who did it?
George, they caught him. George Gonzalez was the gentleman who lost his life there, and this is the suspect that they identified who did it. And again, we say suspect until proven in court.
Right.
You know where I'm going with that. But his name is Austin William Lance. He was 27-year-old. He died at the scene. He was taken out by the police. So keep that in your thoughts. It's tough being a cop out there these days, and I think we all know that. And they face things that we have no idea.
Yes.
As we turn to plumbing, yep. Got to have this. These guys here will help you out. Masterflow Plumbing, when it comes to taking care of anything in your home, they've been doing it for 36 years. They've learned a thing or two to save you time, money, and, well, get your home back to working properly. From replacing sinks to getting, well, your lines replaced in the front yard when it backs up and it don't want to flush and water starts coming in on the floor, who you going to call? Masterflow. They can fix so many things, from a water line as simple as that to getting under to a house that's had leaks underneath the slab, and this happens. That can be bad. You can get one in the wall as well and do this.
Oh, I know. And it can ruin your carpet, cause mold, all kinds of things.
Have to do so much more damage. As you look at this, as simple as getting you a faucet replaced or maybe a handle down there on your shower that's been there for 20 years. Plus, they are home with a $90 90-day guarantee for cleaning your pipes. That means there's no extra charges. It's a flat $90 when they show up. No trip charge, anything. And they're going to guarantee that for 90 days. Not everybody does that. Also, you can get your toilets, anything like that that's got a problem, or maybe you need some tile. Masterflow Plumbing, they can do it all for you there. That's Masterflow Plumbing in Hattiesburg, from the coast, all those areas in between. 228-870-0471 to handle all your needs.
Don't hesitate. Call me. I am Richard Schwartz, and I'm here to help you.
And let me ask this, Candace. Are you familiar with a singer named Rihanna?
Yeah. I mean, kind of. I didn't really listen to a whole lot of her music. But
Yeah. And I'm not even sure if it's R&B or what it is she sings. I just know her name, that she's been maybe on the Super Bowl here or there, yonder. But
she's very pretty, though.
She is now a billionaire. And it has nothing to do with her singing. It's her lingerie and clothes line that's made her a billionaire.
Goodness.
Whoa. So I have to give thumbs up to somebody that takes a product and turns it into something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I won't show her a picture because she's
yeah.
She's what do you call it? Modeling.
She is modeling. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
Too much skin on that picture. So.
yeah, that might be called. We'll just leave that alone there.
Yeah.
Can't be showing pictures like that up on television. But so congratulations, sir. That's a big deal for getting something like that. Let's see here. I won't even go into that. That's just off the record there of as we watch these. That one, no, we're not going there either. There was a couple more stories that I wanted to point out here. As we get down here, online dating, the cop that took the girl on the online dating, and I think that's a big headline of America. They're blaming the cop now when the lady turned around and said, "I can't walk anymore and I want to go back to the car," that he didn't stop and go with her. He went on the hiking trip, and then she's found dead 24 hours later. Do you think that he should have stopped and went with her?
I do. I mean, that would have been the courteous thing to do, and to
First
me, the
date.
right thing to do. Yeah. First date, of course, surely, yes. I mean, you don't just go on ahead and go, see ya, go on back to the car. That's fine.
But her friends are not letting this drop. And they're saying there's more into this than meets the eye. They're saying at this point that they do think it was a natural cause, best they can tell. But that man should have done more than he did.
He should have walked her back to the car.
So we'll watch that one. A big thank you to Jeremiah Johnson joining us from the big city of Seattle, Washington. We appreciate you watching there.
Yes.
Beatline is watching. Miss Shirley Sharp joins us. That's Jason's mom. How are you doing, girl? Glad to have you with us here. As we come to a close of another day, and boy, this morning has flown, has it not?
It has flown by. I cannot believe it's time to end the show already almost.
Don't forget, school buses are going to be rolling this afternoon all across the United States, no matter where you are. Drive a little slower anytime from 1:30 to 6 o'clock. You never know if a school bus is running late from practice.
Right. And, because these kids will be crossing the road sometimes to get to their driveway.
And excited.
Right. They're just looking straight ahead usually when they're walking. So you got to have all eyes.
It's kind of like your wife when there's a sale somewhere. They're not paying attention to you.
Yeah, y'all just be careful with them out, really.
And thank you most of all for visiting with us and all the sponsors that make this happen each and every day here at Scotty Ray's Weather. We'll be back tomorrow to end the week. And don't forget, Chris will be joining us, Chris Reed, tomorrow morning.
That's right. Y'all have a blessed day.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by